a thread by Soul War, and the hits will just keep on coming. Rudy Giuliani said yesterday that there is a 5-day rollout coming of the highly damaging, illegal activity found on Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop that implicates the Bidens. Well, Twitter just locked my account. I had to delete a tweet covering actual news. Twitter, you have lost your fucking mind. Right at the start of my thread, okay? You want to play games? I could play games. No links, no pictures, just very specific and damning words. The banned tweet was a pic of Hunter passed out with a meth pipe in his mouth. And the damning email from a Burisma exec, I can't show you. That was day one. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram went into full-blown Stalin mode, which immediately folded into the Streisand effect, as Trump and Giuliani knew it would. For heaven's sake, don't search Hunter laptop email on a search engine to see the damning email for yourself. Understand, this won't affect the election. Trump's already won that, hands down. The radical left running the DNC's platform was lawlessness, chaos, and lockdowns, as Trump talked law and order, stability, sanity, and prosperity. So it's a real toss-up, huh? No. Trump's breaking big tech. That email, with more to come, read Giuliani, proves that Slow Joe lied. And now the mainstream media and big tech are spinning themselves into an uncontrolled crash to earth, trying to censor it. They're claiming Joe's firing of the Ukrainian prosecutor is a fantasy when he admits it on video. Can I post the video, Twitter? Is that okay? Mutters under my breath. I need to calm down because this is perfect, trying desperately to stop what they can't stop. They are shattering themselves as Americans wake up and stare at the flaming spin machine. Link in the thread to the video on Facebook. That was day one. 4 to go. What will Rudy drop today? As all the usual suspects in the mainstream media run hit pieces on him and try to obscure what's happening. They have to talk like Rudy just shot his bolt and it meant nothing. Nothing to see here, folks. We say it's a lie. Trust us. When you're 56, you remember the days of real investigative journalism. The only real journalists left are the new media like Epoch Times and Brian Cates, my bro. James O'Keefe is really the only person with his Project Veritas doing investigative journalism today. What an investigative journalist does when they are in the field doing a story is dig up everything they can on the person or group being investigated for wrongdoing. If the target is truly engaged in wrongdoing, the reporter is capable. The evidence will most likely be found. Wow, I cannot even post the image of Hunter sleeping with the meth pipe in his mouth. I got locked again. All investigative journalists do what Giuliani is doing now. Announce target, state wrongdoing, and provide a teaser of content. This was day one. The target, and in this case, big tech and the mainstream media, deny, deny, deny. You get them on the record denying everything. And clearly, big tech is desperately trying to censor all of it and failing miserably. See Streisand effect. After all the denials and shenanigans to kill the story are a matter of public record, the journalist drops the damning, irrefutable evidence that the target is a lying villain. So the target is revealed to be not only a wrongdoer, but a lying, duplicitous wrongdoer. Journalists have been following this pattern for decades. Walter Winchell, whom I despise, did it often. He was so adroit at it that he created scandals and destroyed lives to feed his ego. Let me be clear. The pattern I'm mentioning can be used by anyone, good or bad. Winchell was a detestable creep, but he was good at telling stories and casting people as villains, whether they deserved it or not. Iva Toguri was his most notable victim. He vilified her into prison. Toguri had been forced by the Japanese to participate in propaganda broadcasts under threat of prison and torture. Winchell didn't care. His actions were so instrumental in ruining her life, President Ford pardoned her and apologized in 1977. Today, the mainstream media is full of Walter Winchells. Well, the mainstream media and big tech are about to get the Walter Winchell treatment thrown back at them. We've all talked about how President Trump uses the left's vile playbook more adroitly than they do. Another example is happening before our eyes. As America watches, in morbid fascination, the press and big tech are in the deny, deny, deny phase, stepping in to cover Biden so he won't have to address this clearly partisan non-story. So today, Giuliani will drop an even juicier proof bomb than yesterday. You know, juicier than the email Twitter won't let me show you. It will be the Streisand effect 2.0 on day 2. And it's only going to get worse. The mainstream media and big tech spin machine is already spinning so fast it's a flaming wreck, sparking and shrieking like a banshee, trying to warn everyone off of the damning story that you're not allowed to see. They are fully exposing themselves. Not only that they're operatives for the Bidens, the DNC, and the radical left, they are so committed they will break laws to try and shield them from exposure. A failure cascade. Sean Hannity tweets today, breaking now. Ted Cruz says Senate will vote to subpoena Twitter CEO, will testify next Friday. Again, all the on-the-ground indicators are that President Trump will be reelected in a MAGA slide that will include the popular vote. Big tech and the mainstream media know the Bidens are finished. This is about protecting the Democrat leadership that was complicit in the corruption. When the left realized Giuliani and Trump were digging into the Ukraine scandal and were going to go there, they freaked. 1,001 stink pieces on Giuliani as he met with Ukrainian officials and was handed the evidence of a massive theft of U.S. taxpayer dollars in aid. Since that day, they have gone hard at Giuliani and Barr to dirty them up because they knew this was coming out. Now they crow. Giuliani met with a known Russian asset who was handing him the evidence the fucking State Department had managed to keep out of the U.S. for years. Giuliani had to actually go to Ukraine to review and accept the evidence since the U.S. Embassy staff, including the ambassador, killed every effort to investigate the missing billions by outraged Ukrainians or dutiful American investigators. The thieves were so brazen, they actually held a congressional hearing to try and implicate Trump, Barr, and Giuliani for asking legitimate questions. When President Trump mean tweeted about the corrupt Ambassador Yovanovitch during the hearing, I laughed. She's toast. And she is. Just wait. 4 more days. Trump's revenge has arrived, and it will be brutal. The despicable Democrats and mainstream media have tried to destroy a duly elected president with dirty tricks, slander, innuendo, and contrived evidence. Trump has waited patiently as we all clamored. Why won't he do something? How do you feel now? The mainstream media fracturing itself into pretzel knots, big tech claiming all the laptop evidence is stolen and censoring all images and content when the story of its origin is known. It was left in a repair shop and never reclaimed. By day 5, they will be broken. People don't get it. You reveal the most critical and damning evidence last. Day 5. Let me give you a visual example of what that will look like. just for grins, I think we're probably looking at the Beirut explosion. Just for fun, let's take a quick look. Oh, it's kind of long. Here we go. Get ready. There it is. When the Streisand effect, Trump's familiar with, has drawn every eye over 5 days of meltdown, all hands on deck, we got to stop its censorship by big tech and next level implosion by the mainstream media, Biden's not even a factor at this point, and everyone paying attention knows it. No, these 5 days of wrath are for big tech and the mainstream media. They smeared and tried to destroy Trump with innuendo. Trump is going to expose them as he rolls out years of their evidence backed corruption that will stand up in court. Trump's counterpunch is going to decapitate them. By the time these malcontents in the DNC are in court to be tried for their innumerable crimes, 2021 through 2023, big tech and the mainstream media will be unrecognizable from today. One will be under harsh but necessary oversight, and the other replaced by actual journalists in the new media. All of these corrupt institutions hurled themselves at President Trump, eager to stop or destroy him. All are now shattering themselves upon him because they never had any true wrongdoing on him. They had to make it up and then try and cram it down our throats. Now it's Trump's turn. What he's going to do to them in the next 19 days, he can and will back up in court, which is where all of this is going. They tried this using blanks. What Trump is returning fire with isn't. They know this in their bones now. Full blown panic. Let them eat ice cream. To support the works of Brent Cates, donate any amount at paypal.me/Brent Cates. Thanks for listening.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.